Hello world, welcome to edupediaworld.com. In this video, we will learn about the flow charts. So first of all, now let's have a look at the introduction or what is meant by a flow chart. It simply is a graphical or symbolic representation of a process. It is a type of a diagram that represents an algorithm, the workflow or how the process is or what the process is going to perform, how it will work in the steps as the boxes of various kinds and their order by connecting them with arrows. This diagrammatic representation illustrates a solution model to a given problem. They are used in analyzing, designing, documenting, or managing a process or program in various fields nowadays. So thus flowcharts can provide a step-by-step diagram for mapping out or for the solution of complex situations such as the programming code or troubleshooting the problems with the computer. They allow us to break any program into bite-sized sections and display them in shorthand form so then they can understand in no time. They are a clear, concise method of displaying information or simply showing what you are going to do or what your process will perform. So flowcharts can convey data in a visually pleasing manner. So the work looks more professional and communicates its information effectively and understandably. Let's have a look at some flowchart symbols. Like different flowchart symbols have different meanings. The most common are as follows. The first one is the terminal box or terminator. It is an oval flowchart shape indicating the start or end of the process. They usually contain the word start or end, just signaling the start or end of a process of the flow chart. Then comes input or output box. It is a parallelogram that includes data input or output for a process. For example, get the value say X from the process, display the result and so on. Then comes decision box. It is a diamond flowchart shape which indicates a branch in the process flow. It comes where the decision is necessary, commonly a yes or no question or a true or false test. It usually has two arrows coming out of it, one corresponding to yes or true while the other corresponding to no or false. Then comes process box. It is a rectangular flowchart shape indicating a normal process flow step, or you can say it is used to show that something is happening, something is performed, an action is there. For example, add 1 to the value, add 1 to your result, save the changes, move this value to there, etc. Then comes off page or on page connector. It is a small labeled circular flowchart shape used to indicate a jump in the process flow. Both off page or on page connectors usually are labeled by this circle shape. It simply is used to represent an iterative process or a loop will have more than one arrow coming to it, but only one will be going out of it. So now here comes the pictorial representation of all the flowchart symbols which we have studied a moment earlier. Here the arrow lines coming from one symbol and ending at another symbol represents the control passes from one point to another. So now you can say the start, you can see the start terminator is there, going to the process, which simply means that okay, something is happening there. Then comes the decision with a yes or no outputs, and no there is now connected with a circle with a indicated by a symbol capital A. So this is basically a connector. Connectors normally are denoted by the capital letters, and this connector is, again you can see at the second last line A, the same symbol is there denoting that it is showing the same connecting point. So it is connected to a document where the document is used to indicate simply document or a report indicated to your process, to your program. So this is how the flow chart, you can how easily through the shapes you can depict your entire process or entire program. So now let's see a flowchart example of a very simple problem like, does the computer turn on? Obviously the two options are there, yes and no. First let's have a look, say yes, okay, the computer is on. Now what you have to see, are there any error messages? Again you are left with the two options. If yes, then perform a search for the error message, and if no, then perfect, your computer is working perfectly fine. Now let's have a look at the no option. If the computer does not turn on, then the question is the computer power light on? Again you are left with two options. If yes, then you have to instantly turn the computer monitor on, and if the computer light does not on, you have no option left. Then you just have to check your computer power cord. So this is how, with the pictorial representation, with the flow chart symbols, you depict the flow of your process or program so that it can be understandable in no time. Thank you for watching video on edupediaworld.com.